Good morning. 10:51 down here, 11:51 in the United States. Still talking about the shooting yesterday, but not down here. They're talking soccer down here, but up there, so all the news is about the shooting. Well, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but the Republicans are blaming the Democrats, and they're forgetting one thing. This kid was a registered Republican, conservative. He missed the president. I think you're going to find out that wasn't a. If they ever find that bullet, it's probably going to be a ricochet. I think that was just a. I think the possibility exists. This was just some sick kid that thought that if he went up there and he fired a few shots into the crowd and maybe killed a couple of people or something like that, it would be good for Trump. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think that's the case. I just think that this is a typical psycho kid that the loner. He fits the description of a mass shooter to a T. And I think that's all it was. I think he just picked a rally because that was close to his house and there was a lot of people there. And he just went up and he shot a bunch of them. I don't think that he was aiming for Trump, because any kid that's got any experience with weaponry and hunts and anything like that at 400 feet wouldn't miss. Not like that. And he probably wouldn't have shot for the head. It would have been a body shot, in which case Trump still be alive because of the body armor that they wear. So I'm not sure what's going on. I don't believe that this was a straight-up assassination attempt, is what everybody's calling it. I think that's just missing the point completely. So I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how you're going to think about it. But for the Republicans to sit there and blame the Democrats is absolutely absurd. The Democrats don't have enough radicals to put something like this together. Just all you have to do is look at the Republican side and all the radicals. I'm surprised that they haven't sent somebody to try and take out Biden. But I don't think it's because they don't want to. I just think they think that it's not necessary. That pretty much gives Trump the election, and I blame the Democrats and I blame Joe Biden for that. And I'm not going to see the complete end of democracy. I'm going to see the beginning of it. And then I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm not going to be around. It's just so stupid to tear a country apart over points of view rather than real issues. There's no real issue being discussed. Trump won't discuss issues. Immigration's an issue to him. Yeah, well, immigration's an issue to every country in the world, okay? Because there are people like him throwing people out of their country, and the people that are getting thrown out got no place to go, okay? You want to ship them all across the border to Mexico? Fine. You want to put them in concentration camps? You're still not going to stop it. You're just going to leave a legacy of terror and death and destruction and everything else behind you. And I don't think Donnie cares. So long as he walks away with his pockets full of money, can't go to jail, can kill a few people that he doesn't like. Everybody wants to do that at one time or another. They express that wish sometimes, but whether or not that's a real sentiment or not is that's a debatable point. In his case, it's not a debatable point. He really wants to do it because he's just so fucking crazy. And I'm sorry, he is. And now I'm sorry to say America's going to get what it deserves. And that's the way it looks, to be a witness to that is absolutely absurd. It shouldn't have happened. But this is, if you study history, this is how Hitler came to power, and this is how all despots come to power. They cater to the radicals who are not satisfied with their lives. They feel that they have to blame somebody, so they blame, in this case, immigrants for taking their jobs. But I don't hear anybody saying we got to stop the Indians from coming from India to become doctors. We're not stopping them. What we're stopping is that the basic laborers. We're not stopping or wanting to stop anybody with intellectual value. You know, so it's the what they believe to be the criminal element, and definitely a criminal element involved in there. Sometimes it's because that's just what they are, and other times it's because of necessity. You know, they got to feed their kids. You know, so they do what they got to do to feed their families, and especially if they're coming out of poor countries like poor areas of Mexico, for that matter, poor areas of the Southwest. You know, those guys go and get jobs as border agents, not for the government, but for the local ranchers and whatnot. And they go around and shoot people, bury them out in the desert. You know, it's done. Don't sit there and say to me you don't believe it's never happened. Of course it happens. You know? You've met some of these people in your life, believe me. And you don't know you've never known what to say or do to them, but you've met people like this before in your life. I met them in school. I went to school with them. You say they're racist. You know, what makes a racist? A racist is somebody who a person becomes a racist when they're taught that belief, but the belief originates from the fact that they feel that either that their race is superior or their entitlement. Okay? Now, the only people in this country that are entitled to anything are the American Indians. They were native to this country. They've helped this country a lot, and they've been shot, hung, tortured, raped, whatever else kind of abuse you can think of, most of their adult lives. Yet they still think this is a good place to live. I'm out of the country right now, and I have been for the last 12 years. And I've explained this. This is an economic situation for me. I'm not rich. I live better down here than I could ever possibly hope to live up there. Some of that's my fault. I didn't put any money away. You know, I was an alcoholic. I had problems. That's fine. If you want to blame that on, it's just that I don't. I'm in no hurry to go visit that country right now. You know. I'm surprised that Florida had the America's Cup event down there. I'm surprised that DeSantis didn't try to censor Shakira. It's going to be an interesting thing to see what happens with things like a halftime show at the Super Bowl. Because that's next year, folks, and next year you're going to have Trump as president. So life should be really different. Of course, most of the National Football League executives and guys like Aaron Rodgers support Donald Trump. Aaron Rodgers is a wacko. I mean, he's supposedly intelligent, but I don't, his reasoning powers are somewhat questionable at times, I'm not saying to anybody that I'm the intelligent answer to every one of these people. All I am is a guy sitting down here that's fed up with what I see. This is the only way I can express it. It's the only thing I can do besides voting when the time comes. But what else am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to move back to the United States? I have a great deal of trouble walking. I don't have a lot of money. Move back, I'm going to be in a poverty situation, and walk around and complain. I can reach more of you here. I'm not going to have the ability to travel the country up there and complain. Uh, if I did, I would. Believe me. But I don't, you know. Uh, the other thing I got to worry about now is that Trump's classified document case was dismissed by this Judge Cannon. Now, I don't know about the reason behind that. I don't know the law. That's an interpretation of a constitutional thing. And of course, if it goes to the Supreme Court, he's going to win. So there's no sense in even trying that, forcing it to another court. But my deal with that is that he should never have been charged under the law the way he was charged. He should have been charged with treason. That's a treasonous act. Because if you ask him what he planned to do with them, you know, that's why they don't want that case to go to court. Because somebody's going to ask that question. Well, what did you take them for? What did you plan to do with them? And his first answer is, well, I didn't know they were there, which is probably typical stupid answer for him. But he knew they were there. He doesn't read them. He doesn't read this stuff. He's not going to take it home and read it. You know, he shouldn't have had them to begin with. All right? And I think that's a fault of the various security agencies involved in the White House. And that they should tighten that up. If they're private, if top secret documents should never leave a specific area for any reason whatsoever. All right? If they're top secret, there's a reason they're top secret. People want to read them, get the proper clearances, go to wherever they're stored, read them, make sure they're searched thoroughly when they leave for cameras and other recording devices. You know, because the only reason to take them is to distribute them in some manner, shape, or form. You know, and Trump is well, he's a liar, a thief, and I believe a traitor. So, you know, I hope there are no more events like yesterday, the shooting. I mean, because a purely innocent person, whether they support Trump or they didn't support Trump, was killed. And, you know, there are plenty of people on this planet that need to be shot, killed, strangled, hung, whatever, without us going around killing the innocent ones, you know. So, anyhow, right now that's all I got. You know, my mind is wandering because I am the two issues here. He's getting away with treason, I believe, in Florida. And this shooting, I don't know what to make of it. I'm going to go with it wasn't an assassination attempt. It was an attempt at a mass shooting by a very disturbed individual. That's my take on the whole thing. Well, anyhow, listen, have a great day. If I find anything out that's concrete and can be proved and whatnot, I'll be back. Otherwise, ciao.